Patrice Lumumba, the first Prime Minister of the Democratic Republic of Congo, was killed through a carefully planned series of political, military, and covert actions between September 1960 and January 1961. His death was the result of deliberate decisions rather than chance or accident. On the 5th September 1960, President Joseph Kasavubu announced the dismissal of Lumumba as Prime Minister. Lumumba refused to accept the decision, arguing that it was unconstitutional. This created a political standoff that weakened the government and set the stage for military intervention. On the 14th of September 1960, Colonel Joseph Mobutu, then Chief of Staff of the Army, staged a military coup. He declared the army neutral and suspended both Lumumba and Kasavubu from power. Following the coup, Lumumba was placed under house arrest in Leopoldville. United Nations troops were present in the city but refused to intervene to protect him. Despite being under strict surveillance, Lumumba managed to escape from house arrest on the 27th of November 1960. His goal was to reach Stanleyville, where he had strong support from loyal soldiers and local communities. However, Mobutu's forces with external intelligence assistance closely tracked his movements. On the 1st of December 1960, Lumumba was captured near the Sankuru River. He was tied up, beaten severely, and transported under harsh conditions back to Leopoldville. The army paraded him publicly to humiliate him and undermine his supporters. After his recapture, Lumumba was detained at Thiceville military camp. Authorities feared that some soldiers at the camp might try to free him due to their loyalty. As a result, plans were made to remove him from the area permanently and secretly. During his imprisonment at Thiceville, Lumumba was held in harsh conditions and subjected to constant surveillance. Belgian officers who had a strong influence over Katangese and Congolese forces were involved in planning his eventual transfer. The secrecy of these plans was crucial to avoid public resistance. On the 17th of January 1961, Lumumba was secretly flown from Thiceville to Elizabethville in the Katanga region, which was controlled by Moise Tshombe. Belgian officers were present at the airport to oversee the handover. This transfer was a critical step in ensuring that Lumumba would be outside the reach of any loyalist forces. Upon arrival in Katanga, Lumumba, along with his close colleagues Maurice Mpolo and Joseph Okito, was subjected to brutal physical abuse. The three men were beaten by Katangese authorities in the presence of Belgian officers. The abuse was intended to break their spirits before execution. That evening, Lumumba, Mpolo, and Okito were taken to a remote location outside Elizabethville. There, they were executed by firing squad, with Katangese soldiers carrying out the killings under Belgian supervision. This action was swift, secret, and carefully orchestrated to prevent any interference. After the execution, the bodies were initially buried in shallow graves. Later, to erase all evidence, the bodies were exhumed, dismembered, and dissolved in sulfuric acid. Belgian officer Gerard Saudet supervised this process to ensure that no trace of Lumumba or his companions remained. In February 1961, the Congolese authorities falsely announced that Lumumba had been killed by villagers while trying to escape captivity. This statement was intended to conceal the role of Katangese and Belgian actors in the killing and mislead the public and international observers. The killing of Patrice Lumumba demonstrates a systematic process involving political dismissal, military arrest, secret transfer, execution, and destruction of evidence. It was the product of careful planning and coordination between local and foreign actors rather than a spontaneous act of violence. In conclusion, Patrice Lumumba's death remains one of the most well-documented political assassinations of the 20th century. Every step, from his house arrest to his execution, was carefully controlled to prevent rescue and to erase his presence, showing how a combination of local rivals and foreign powers orchestrated his murder.